All right, what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Polo Evolve, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about why your first payout is going to be a make or break moment. Now, let me actually explain my very first payout, which was on funded pips back in 2024 so August 2024. That is when I got my first payout with funding pips. I believe it was around $4,500 on a 100K funded account. Now, a big reason why I was even able to get that payout in the first place had a lot to do with luck, right? I didn't actually embody the habits of a successful day trader. I was not patient. I was very impulsive. I was over trading. I was greedy. I was all of those things. Now, a lot of those things I still struggle with. For example, greed is the biggest thing that I am struggling with right now, and basically rushing the process, right? And focusing more on the P&L rather than the actual process itself. With that being said, going back to my very first payout, I know being able to get funded is already putting yourself in a percentage of traders. With that being said, I do acknowledge the fact that I was able to get funded, which is great, but my payout in and of itself was a lot to do with, or had a lot to do with the fact that I was on a pretty good green streak. Market conditions were pretty good, and that way I was able to capitalize on a couple of good moves, and then eventually just got that payout, right? But from there on afterwards, I got funded a couple of times after that, but my next payout didn't come for another year and a half. So August 2025, August 2024, I got a payout, and then December 2025 is when I got my next payout with Top Step. And of course, I switched to futures sometime in 2025 around August, which, by the way, is definitely the move. If you guys are trading Forex, I don't know, look into futures. I personally like futures better, but that's just my take on it. With that being said, my next payout with Top Step, which is technically my second ever funded account payout, that one had a lot to do with me actually following my trading plan, coming to the market every day with a plan, following that plan, following my risk management, taking the trades that I need to take on a day-to-day basis, not really over trading. Yes, I might have fallen here and there, but it was a whole lot cleaner. And so what I really want to stress here is the fact that you can get paid out just by luck. But what I want to say is that even if you are able to get a payout by gambling your way there, it's not going to be sustainable. Clearly, because when I got my payout back in 2024 with funding pips, I wasn't able to get another payout for another year and a half. Why? Because I didn't actually build the habits that a successful trader has, which is, again, come to the markets, certain time frame or certain time that you come to the markets and you're trading, 1 to 2 pairs, 1 to 2 entries per day or session, however you trade, follow your risk plan to the T, follow your strategy, all these things. Doing this day in and day out and just focusing on the process is what's going to lead you to being able to get consistent payouts. And that's what we want in this game. We don't want to just be a one and done. A lot of the trading space will glorify this as well. Those big payouts. By the way, I'd love to get a big payout myself. I'd love to get a 10K payout, 20K payout, 30K payout. I know it is more or less, it's more possible when you actually scale up with multiple accounts rather than you trying to Hail Mary your way with 1 or 2 or 3 funded accounts, right? I know some people out there. And listen, I'm not telling you how to trade. I'm just saying this is what I have seen work for me, because I was doing some self-reflection and I was able to really look back and think what went well and what didn't go well back in 2024 as opposed to 2025 when I got, funded and began with Top Step. And then even shortly after me getting 2 payouts with 1 funded account, 150K on Top Step, I proceeded to blow all of that money back into evals because now I wanted to scale up, and I was doing it way too fast and also reverting back into my old habits, right? So I had forgotten not forgotten, but I had chosen to not follow my plan anymore and figured, I'm just gonna gamble my way to the next payout, which ultimately ended up burning me again because, I ended up blowing all the money that I made from my payouts and then some more, which in this case, guys, I've just come to that realization that it is going to take a long time. And maybe you guys have already come to this realization. I think a lot of people already understand this inherently, but that realization that it is going to take a long time. And maybe you guys have already come to this realization. I think a lot of people already understand this inherently, but most people just do not, including myself, really. We want to think it can be done a different way. I'm here to tell you guys, it cannot be done a different way. If you want to make this shit work, you gotta actually put in the work. You gotta just follow your plan, and you just gotta come in and take 1 to 2 trades, follow your risk management plan, focus on actually being a successful trader rather than the P&L itself. Because focusing on that P&L will fuck you up psychologically, and it will continuously blow accounts. That's what's going to end up happening at the end of the day. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you guys Have you guys ever gotten a payout before? And if so, was it attributed to luck or did you actually follow your process? Because I think 9 out of 10 times, the people that do follow their processes, their trading processes, are the ones that will ultimately be able to get consistent payouts. Yes, you can get lucky 1 or 2 times, but after that, you're more likely to just throw your money back into the markets.